As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
I got to go with Justin Fields. He's 3-0 as a starter for the Steelers. And I, I think a lot of people thought his career was over whenever he left the Bears. Russell Wilson's been injured. He's done a good job. He's, for the most part, taking care of the football. They've got the best defense in the NFL right now. He's played to that strength. Russell Wilson is back and healthy. Tomlin says, I'm not saying who's starting, but there's no way they're starting Russell Wilson. It feels like to me, Justin Fields, and it's early, things can go bad, but it feels like he's kind of winning the divorce right now.
That's an interesting way of putting it because you look at Caleb Williams and what's going on with the Bears. Everyone was saying, "Oh, what an awesome situation for a rookie to walk into." Well, eh,
He'll
has
come. I mean, I think he's going to
he's
come
going to be
around.
fine. I'm not worried about
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, but hey, 3-0 is 3-0. And what Pittsburgh needs is, hey, play to the strengths of your football team.
Yep.
Just have a game manager at quarterback that happens to be an incredible athlete, can extend some drives with his legs, and then, hey, just don't turn the football over.
Mm-hmm.
I think in 3 games, I think he threw an interception on Sunday. So he's got one interception because he was clean in his first two starts. So just, hey, manage the game. Don't do anything ridiculous and play to the defense, who looks really good.
Really good.
It's a
And
good
say,
formula to win football games.
it is. It's say what you want about Russell Wilson. Weird dude. Weird dude, and is getting weirder. Okay, um, but I think it's good for Fields to have Russell Wilson in the room. He's got a ton of experience. Early in his career, he had the best defense in the NFL, and he was kind of a manager type player. And obviously, as he got better and better, more experienced, it opened up. But I mean, there's a lot of similarities there, and it it might be good to have him in the room, but maybe he's a weird in the room too, and maybe it's not good. I don't know,
Uh,
but he brings some experience to the table. Whether or not he can help Fields with it, I guess I don't know, but it is there for Fields to be able to draw on.
yeah, I do wonder, hey, is Russell Wilson acting as a mentor? Is he helping him or is it a weird relationship? I don't know. But you got to start the quarterback that won you the first 3 games.
Oh
You
yeah,
will the locker room. Yeah, and it's Mike Tomlin. I'm not worried about it. We know that Tomlin's going to start Fields. I feel like that guy. He out of anyone has the pulse of his football team.
I love Mike Tomlin. I
Everyone
love
loves
that
Mike
dude.
Tomlin,
He's awesome.
and you can't start 3-0 and then make a quarterback change, especially when the quarterback that's led you to 3 wins has been he hasn't been great. I'm not trying to make it sound like he's been just some huge playmaker, but
Solid.
he's been solid. He's managed the game.
Try. Yeah. I don't know. It's fun to watch.
They've got Indy this weekend on the road. They're favored on the road. Probably going to go beat the Colts. Colts are not a
Well,
particularly great football team.
they've got Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde at quarterback there in Indy, so you never know what you're going to get on a given day or given drive, I guess. But yeah, that's going to be. I'm happy to. I'm glad to see Fields kind of have a little resurgence here. See where he goes with it.
I may like the Colts to win that game. Now the NFL's weird, man. It's a that's why it's the best.
It'll be like a one. It's going to be a one score game in the fourth quarter as the clock is ticking down. With someone will have an opportunity to win it. That's almost how every game goes.
I think Richardson threw for like 160 with 2 interceptions against the Bears. It'll flip. He'll throw for like 302 touchdowns. That's
He
how he rolls
he will
against the best
just
defense in the league.
some of the worst things ever, and then he'll like throw an 85-yard bomb that travels 75 in the air as he's falling down with someone hanging on his jersey for a touch. It's crazy.
He's had two throws this year where I I made sure, like, I had to think, like, my initial reaction was, are those AI generated clips? Like, that's what my
No,
initial reaction was. The
I
guy is
know.
just he's a specimen. All right, who do you have as your loser of the week?
Uh, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, good football team, undefeated. A lot of people have them as a team that could make the playoff from the group of five, and their quarterbacks decided to bench himself for the season, red shirt, and he's done. The NIL agreement has not been honored, Gabe.
There is so much to unpack here. For those of you that haven't heard, yeah, the Matthew Sluka is his name. Their starting quarterback. He just announced on social media out of nowhere last night that he is not playing this weekend against Fresno State as UNLV starts conference play. There's so much. Where do we even start? Who does this, man? You're 3-0. You're the starting quarterback. Who does this, man? What's wrong with you, Sluka?
Yeah, yeah.
But how much money has someone else offered you? I need that information before I make my final judgment.
Well, hang
Because
on.
I don't believe that yeah, maybe they didn't fulfill everything they promised. Okay, whatever. But we all know the most likely thing is that someone else contacted him or his representation and said, hey, save one more year. We want you as our quarterback next season, and we're going to pay you X amount of money.
I don't know. You
I
think
think
that's,
that's the most likely thing.
but he hasn't been great.
No, which is why I think that's the most likely thing. And it doesn't make sense to me because their running game is the strength of their football team. He's not.
Don't you have to honor though what, at least for now, what he said is that we had an agreement and they're not honoring their part of the agreement.
Do I
It's
believe a
not the
college
first
kid
time we've
that
seen.
left his do I believe a college kid that left his football team high and dry in the middle of the night? I'm supposed to side with that guy?
Well, okay, but hang on. And I'm operating, I don't know any information. We've turned college football into professional football, have we not?
No doubt. No doubt.
Would you expect a quarterback in the NFL to continue playing if the team is not paying him?
No, this is where I'm at. And remember, this guy came from Holy Cross. He was an
Right.
FCS guy. How much money did UNLV guarantee to a guy coming from FCS Holy Cross? It
I
can't be
don't
that
know.
much money, bro.
I know.
So that's why this it just smells funny to me. This is the facts will come out hopefully, and then we'll be able to make our final judgments.
I'll tell
But
you
this
my
feels like
judgment
a
right now.
situation.
If he's trying to squeeze them for more money,
That's what I think's happening.
then it's absolute BS on his part. If UNLV is not paying him what they agreed to, it's absolute BS on their part.
The way I see it,
And I wouldn't do what he's doing either way, but I can at least understand since we've been brought into professional football at the college level, I can at least understand someone having to say, well, I've got to draw a line somewhere. If you're not going to pay me what you said you did, like, what do you want me to do? I mean, I can at least understand that to a point.
I want to know the facts. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
It and here's a key part. Was this a verbal agreement or is the agreement in writing? Because if he didn't get it in writing, that's on him and whoever helped him negotiate this deal. People's words mean nothing. You have to get it in writing. So that's where I cannot wait to get all of the actual details of this story. Because you're already seeing people say, hey, the rumor is he walked into Odom's office and said, I want more money.
Right.
Are those rumors true? I don't know.
If that's what happened, you can't. If that's what happened, you can't be held hostage by that if you're Odom and UNLV.
Gundy talked about it earlier this year.
Yeah.
Hey, we're playing football. We'll renegotiate deals after the season. I ain't talking about it.
Because
That's
as soon
that's
as that
how you,
happens,
that's the only way you can do it if you're a coach.
yeah. And they don't, I don't know UNLV's situation, but I, it, they don't have an endless supply of money like an NFL team does whenever CeeDee Lamb holds out for a new contract, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, we'll just play around with this a while before we give you the millions. Like some teams don't have access to it. And whenever they say we can't get you anymore, they're probably stretched as thin as they possibly could be to begin with. And there's also the fact of there's people that make promises to NIL on the backing side that may pull out of their what we're going to
Yeah,
give
but
you
it's
guys
hard.
a $1 million and then that $1 million never comes to the NIL.
Yeah, but they started 3-0.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So it beat Kansas. That was a massive win for them. Like things are going really well. And that's why, like, what was promised to him because, and I've talked about this before, but these guys have their base pay,
Mm-hmm.
right? That doesn't mean you can't go out and get more endorsement deals.
Yeah.
But I feel like this could have been worked out. Like they could have gone and found him a couple of endorsement deals, and it shouldn't have come to this point in my mind. But I can't wait till we get all the facts. It's gonna be awesome.
I, yeah, I don't know either way, but we knew that this was going to happen, right? I mean, we knew that this was going to happen. It's a matter of time. There's been a lot of rumors of it happening in other places already, unofficially. Guys that randomly show up and are not playing in games, and because they've had some type of injury or something, like there's already been rumors of that stuff happening. So it was a matter of time before we got here, and I don't know. I hate it all the way around for everyone. It if you're telling people that you're going to give them something, whether it's in writing or if it's verbally, in my opinion, you honor that.
No
If
doubt.
unless you're a scumbag, or unless if you have the means to be able to do it, you shouldn't promise something that you can't deliver on. Number one, and on the flip side of it, I think you're a scumbag if your team's having success and you use that as an opportunity to go try and get more money for yourself and leverage it with saying, "Hey, I'm not going to play if you don't give me more money." I think that's a scumbag thing to do on the flip side. I don't know which it is, and it we may never know exactly like who's to blame here. It's just a bad situation that unfortunately because of the Wild West and how things operate now with no guardrails was inevitable.
I'm not sure where the scumbaggery is taking place, but there's scumbaggery.
Somewhere.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
We are brought to you by HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. We all know home cooked meals are so much better for you, but don't always have time to pull it off. With HelloFresh handling all the meal planning, shopping, and most of the prep, it's easier than ever to get dinner on the table quick and painless. My wife and I, we made the HelloFresh crispy kicking cayenne chicken cutlets with mashed potatoes, carrots, and a honey drizzle the other night. It was awesome, easy to follow instructions. Only took about 30 minutes or so, and it was delicious. HelloFresh lets you easily customize your delivery from week to week, tailor everything to your schedule by adjusting your delivery date, or skip a week when you're not able to cook at home. For free breakfast for life, go to HelloFresh.com/free OK breakdown. One free breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life just by going to HelloFresh.com/free OK breakdown.
My winner of the week, Jayden Daniels, quarterback, Washington Commanders. That dude put on a show on Monday Night Football.
Some of those throws were incredible.
By the way, I just need one Monday Night Football game. I don't need two of them. I just want one.
Yeah,
I I just want one.
much.
Don't need two. But Joe Burrow in that Cincinnati offense were fantastic. Jamar Chase was balling.
He was.
Burrow
Wow.
looked healthy. They were scoring points. And Jayden Daniels in that Commanders offense, it felt like they answered every time they had to.
Man.
21 to 23 for 254, two passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown, including a passing touchdown to an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Q Dog. Aikman didn't know, but I know. I know. And the second touchdown was one of the best throws we've seen all season long. You consider situation in the game, Monday Night Football, that was an absolute dime.
And the coverage was perfect.
Yeah.
He basically had to catch the ball and the corner's hand in order to score a touchdown. That was awesome.
Yeah. Heck of a play, heck of a throw, and a nice play by Terry McLaurin. But this guy is so much fun to watch. He also doesn't look as small in the field as I thought he was going to look. I thought he was going to look real, real thin. He looks fine.
Yeah.
But you got Dan Quinn rocking the backwards hat as the head coach. You've got Cliff Kingsbury dialing it up offensively. I mean, the Washington Commanders are fun. I want to watch them. I want to continue to watch them. I have never felt this way about this football team, I don't think. It's a weird feeling.
I have felt this way about them before, but it's been a while. And
RG3, young RG3 before all the
yeah,
injuries.
yeah, that was a fun year, his rookie year. I've always loved their look. I love their uniforms. So it's good to see him doing good.
Yeah. All I know is Jayden Daniels looks fantastic. And as long as he stays healthy, he's like must see TV. He is wildly entertaining to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pumped in 0-3 for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Wow.
Their defense has fallen off a cliff, man. And they're banged up. I get that. But 0-3.
Man, it's so funny how the NFL works. When you win, man, everyone just pours the accolades on. And when you lose, it doesn't matter who you are. Like Burrow and Cincinnati were like the toast of the town over the last couple of years. And then now I saw like a meme and it was him walking off the field and it said Ellen DeGeneres and the Bengals are 0-3.
He has gotten pretty he's expanded his fashion horizons for sure.
Oh man, it was funny.
And it's cool when you're balling and you're winning.
That's
And
right.
it's just how it goes. If you're losing, people are gonna point that stuff out. But yeah, 0-3 for Cincinnati. That's a hole that it's just difficult to dig out of, but we'll see.
Plenty of time.
Commanders are fun. Commanders are fun. Really
Yep.
enjoying watching them. My loser of the week, former teammate of mine. We were weightlifting buddies in Buffalo, Reggie Bush. Strong, by the way, very strong.
That's not a shock.
He is suing the Pac 12, the NCAA, and USC. And basically he wants NIL back pay. Is what he wants. He wants to be compensated for his time at USC. What's your reaction to this, Ted? As a guy that is an OU icon, like it, hate it. I feel like this is something you would absolutely hate.
I I hate it. I think it is. I think it's pathetic. Really, I think it's pathetic. It's a cash grab. It's I he knew what system he was signing up to play in. Right? Was the system wrong? Like, was it? Um, I, I I don't know, but you knew what you signed up to do. You would have done it anyways. You got so much out of it. It catapulted him to the NFL. He was incredibly famous before he ever even took a snap in the NFL. It was a springboard for him to be where he is now. The guy's made a ton of money. It is an absolutely pathetic cash grab. It is so stupid. And I don't know. Well, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if he's got a legitimate case or not. But if he wins, he basically drops a nuclear bomb on college football. I don't even know how anyone could ever survive having to pay everyone that's ever played college football back pay NIL. I think it makes him look like a total douchebag in a cash grab, and it has a chance to ruin a sport that everyone loves, and it sets a horrible precedent because now I'm sure that every single school across the country is going to be sued by a group of former players that feel like they're owed something from when they played there, even though there was no court cases or anything that had been won at the time. It's just, I think it's stupid. It's sad, honestly.
There's no doubt Reggie Bush would have crushed in the current system, right? Dude would have had a lot of NIL deals, but I'm curious as to what he thinks he's owed. What does he think is fair compensation for his 3 seasons at USC? Because you can say, oh, well, the Pac 12 got this massive TV deal because we were rolling. Well, get a lot of other guys on your team. Like, what is Matt Leinart owed? What about the starting offensive line that was blocking for you? Like, I get he was a star player, but I just like, does he think he's owed $1 million for each season? 2 million. Like, what if he ends up winning and gets $5 million? Is it worth? And this is really the thing for me. Like, is it worth not having a place to call home? It really bummed me out to see this because USC and him had smoothed things over. He got his Heisman back. It seemed like they had figured some things out. They got him back on campus. You know, they redisplayed his retired number starting with the opener this year. ESPN, there were rumors, according to ESPN, that he was going to run them out onto the field later this season for a game. And now he sues them. Is it worth it? That's my thing. Like, and I, I feel like I know how you feel about OU and how I feel about OU, Ted. And I don't think there's an amount of money that you could give me where I would be willing to give up the feeling of going back to Norman and feeling welcome. and
Yeah.
having my family, like my kids, that's the new, like watching my kids be able to go down on the field and run around or be at the games and watching the game. Like I cannot explain how much joy that brings me. And Reggie Bush just, I guess, doesn't care about that or thinks maybe, hey, I can sue them and still be welcomed back. Like I just, you throw that all away for a couple $1 million. Is that like, is it worth it? I mean, this is a guy that made over $60 million playing in the NFL. He shouldn't be hurting for money.
Even if he is, I even if he is, I cannot stress how how bad this is, and like how bad our um society has become, how, like our court system. Some attorney, I'm sure, is pumping him up on how much
Oh,
he's owed.
the attorney statements, they said, oh, I actually wrote it down. This case is not just about seeking justice for Reggie Bush. It's about setting a precedent for the fair treatment of all college athletes. Our goal is to rectify this injustice and pave the way for a system where athletes are rightfully recognized, compensated, and treated fairly for their contributions. It's bullshit, man.
The attorney is a piece of trash. And frankly, Reggie Bush, yes, Reggie Bush is a piece of trash. Uh, this case is not just about seeking justice. I'm sure Reggie Bush was just like me, was just like you. The only thing he wanted to do as a kid growing up is to play college football. Like, that's it. It's the greatest thing ever to be able to play college football and to get a scholarship. And for him, USC maybe was the goal his entire life. I want to go play at USC for the Trojans. And you get the opportunity and you play great and you win a Heisman and you go to the NFL. Like it all happened how you wanted it to happen. Don't give some bullshit line about you're seeking justice. You would have done anything for the opportunity that you got. And now, after all this time, you're seeking justice. Piece of shit in my book. I'm sorry. I mean,
I
it ain't seeking justice, it's seeking money. And that attorney's a piece of shit for saying it. And our court system is a piece of shit for allowing it. It's all scam. Stupid.
I I hope he loses. And I'd want to make myself very, I think I speak for the both of us because this is something I think there's a group of Michigan guys that are trying to do something like this. I think I speak for the both of us. I hope no OU guys try to do this. I hope none of the guys that you played with or I played with, I hope no one tries to do this to the University of Oklahoma. I'm sure someone will, right? I'm sure it's going to happen everywhere. It will happen everywhere if Reggie Bush wins. There's no doubt about that. But don't call me. I want nothing to do with it. The University of Oklahoma has given me everything I could have ever dreamed of. It was my dream as a little kid to play football there. So you can take your lawsuit and you can shove it up your ass. Don't call me.
Yep.
Don't even think about calling me because I'm not doing it. Place means too much to me. Being able, feeling welcome back there, it brings so much fulfillment for me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no dollar amount that can make me just throw that away. I just That's just how I feel about it. Like Dude, I cannot explain how much it bummed me out to read about this story. It's
Yeah.
like, do people not care? You combine that with the UNLV thing, and I guess he's a 1 year rental, but it's like, do people not care about like legacy and all the relationships, like, and all the, I don't know, man. It just bothers me.
Well, I operate on what is right and what is wrong. Okay. And I really don't give a shit about the law of the land. I know what's right and I know what's wrong. And to try and cash grab years later on something that you would have died for to do for free at the time is wrong. It's just wrong. It's a cash grab, is all it is. It's a lie. You're lying by saying that it was an injustice. You would have done it for free. You did do it for free, and it was your whole dream as a child to go do it. I mean, so it's a lie, is what it is.
It was 20 years ago, too.
20 years ago, yeah.
Uh, I'm over here catching heat for saying I wouldn't wear another team's gear on the field. Like nothing would get me to do it.
Right.
I love you, Chris Hammonds. We're boys. I'm not worried about it. As long as me and Chris are good. Tennessee fans are being very mean to me. But there's nothing that would like it just OU means so much to me. That's kind of the bottom line. Like I could never do what Reggie Bush just did. I just I couldn't. But everyone's going to be paying attention to what happens. We'll see.